And so today, though, I wanted to focus heavily on, an issue that I had spoken a lot about, and I'm very passionate about because I am a father of a mixed, biracial little girl. She's 6 years old. Her name's Isabella. And I'm more so, as some people might assume, that I'm more of like a black and white and a blending of America. I'm actually against that more than anything else. Not because black people and white people need to learn to get along better. And not so much, I wouldn't say, on both sides of the fence you have black people who don't like white people and white people who don't like black people. And so we need to learn to build a bridge between each other so that we can become friends if that's the path that we want to choose. If we're so excited, and I never looked at my little girl's mother and been like, man, I'd really love to have a biracial baby with you. I never thought that. It was never something that occurred to me. If you want to be honest, I mean, I've met tons more little black kids that I would rather have as a son or a daughter than, not my own little girl because I love her, but I never really philosophized in my mind I want to make a biracial baby. I just realistically, I cared about my little girl's mother and the love that I had for her and still have for her. It never really, in my heart, and I don't think even in her heart when she thought about it, I don't think it ever realistically built into this relationship, this communal kind of holier good relationship. I don't think it was ever designed for that. My own opinion is that we would have been a lot better off if we had been able to maintain a friendship that we were building after I got into a little bit of trouble and came into this relationship that I have now and continue to try to establish with God. We would have done a lot better with her being in social work and me being in the law, as in like a prosecutor, which is what I was going to college to become at that point. I probably would have switched over to being a public defender because I like rehabilitating and helping people, and I think that you can do a lot more for a father as a public defender than as a prosecutor. Prosecutor doesn't really care. Whatever you get was whatever you get. A public defender can fight for, even though the guy is guilty. My dad was guilty as hell, beating the crap out of me as a kid. But as a public defender, if I had defended him, I would have legitimately been like, all right, instead of sending him to prison, we're going to send him into a rehabilitative program, try to teach him how to be a good father, and maybe we can build this bridge and this gap between him and his son. And so I think that that's better than just some cases that you have to do the things that they did with me growing up as a kid. I have to become an orphan. The child needs to be taken from their parents, and you get adopted at that point. And that's hopefully best case scenario, you get adopted. It took many years for me to get adopted, but eventually, I don't know if I'd call it lucky, but it was. I made it what it was, and we make mistakes, and you live with those mistakes. And I learned a lot from being adopted, and I love my late father as much as I could, and there was a lot of good opportunities that I could have gained if I had been in a better mindset. But that's something doesn't really. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter right now. And so realistically, my issue